Okay, let's just dive right in. Imagine a place far from any sunlight, a world of total darkness and absolutely crushing pressure. There is a high-stakes conflict unfolding there, right now. It's kind of a secret battle over a prize so valuable it could literally reshape the global balance of power. And it's all happening in a place most of us will never, ever see.
So what exactly is this secret war? I mean, who's fighting it, and what for? Well, the answers are all tied up in our green future, our current geopolitics, and, yeah, the fate of one of the last truly unexplored frontiers left on Earth.
All right, so the main stage for all this is this huge stretch of the Pacific Ocean floor called the Clarion-Clipperton Zone. And when I say huge, I mean you could cram 25 United Kingdoms in there. It's massive. And for decades, the world's most powerful nations have been quietly gearing up for a modern-day treasure hunt, right here.
And the prize? The sheer scale of it is, well, it's just staggering. We're talking about an estimated $17 trillion. That's with a T. $17 trillion worth of critical metals just lying there on the seabed. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire annual GDP of China. This is way more than a treasure hunt. It's a race for unimaginable wealth.
So what's the source of all this cash? Well, they're these things called polymetallic nodules, and they look pretty much like potatoes. Seriously, just these potato-sized rocks that have been forming for millions and millions of years, slowly soaking up layers of high-demand metals like manganese, nickel, and cobalt. And in this one zone, there are about 21 billion tons of them, just scattered all over the place.
But you might be asking, why now? I mean, these things have been sitting down there forever, right? Well, the answer comes down to two simple words: green energy.
See, to power all our shiny new electric cars, our solar panels, our wind turbines, we need a ton of the exact metals that are in these nodules. I mean, just look at these numbers. By 2050, a 500% increase in demand for nickel and cobalt. 500%. The mines we have on land, they just can't keep up.
And this is where we hit a massive paradox, a really uncomfortable one. In our rush to build a greener world and save our ecosystems on land, we might have to completely wreck our oceans. Are we really going to destroy one pristine environment in the name of saving another?
You can bet this dilemma has kicked off a brand new global race. It's basically a high-stakes game of geopolitical chess on the ocean floor. Now, on paper, the seabed is supposed to be the common heritage of humankind, watched over by a UN group called the International Seabed Authority. But in reality, it's turning into a total free-for-all.
And the big players? They all have their own game plan. You've got China, who's way out in front with 5 exploration contracts, basically trying to corner the market. Then there's the US, which isn't even part of the official club. They're just doing their own thing, making up their own rules. And India? They're going for strategic autonomy, building their own tech from scratch with something called the Deep Ocean Mission. But all this politics, this race for trillions, it's all happening in a world we know almost nothing about. And that brings us to the real cost, the price of progress. What are we about to lose in this underwater gold rush? Get ready for this number, because it's wild. 92%. That's how many of the species found in this zone are completely new to science. Let that sink in. We are about to send giant robots to tear up an ecosystem filled with creatures we've never even seen before, that we don't even have names for. And the scary part is, we've already had a preview of what happens. Back in the 80s, there was this tiny little test run, and it wiped out up to 80% of the local marine life. And today, over 45 years later, that scar on the ocean floor, it's still there. It hasn't recovered. It looks like the damage might just be permanent. You know, it's really hard to wrap your head around just how delicate these places are. But think about this for a second. When a single dead blue whale falls to the seafloor, its body creates an entire vibrant ecosystem that can last for 50 years. 50! An entire world of sharks, worms, and bacteria springs up around it. And that's the kind of complex, beautiful web of life we're talking about just bulldozing.
Now, there is some good news here. A resistance is building. Right now, 33 countries are saying, hold on, let's ban this, or at least press pause. Major conservation groups are on board. So the battle lines are drawn, right? It's scientists and conservationists on one side, and on the other, powerful corporate lobbies with trillions of dollars at stake.
And look, we have to remember this whole mining debate, it's not happening in a bubble. It's really just the latest battle in a much larger war being waged against our oceans, which are, let's be honest, already in crisis.
Think about this. 5.25 trillion. That's the estimated number of plastic pieces already floating in our oceans. We have literally created floating islands of trash, garbage patches, like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, that are bigger than some countries. It's almost impossible to get your head around.
And this isn't just some far-off, abstract problem. It has a real body count. Every single year, this plastic kills over 1 million seabirds and 100,000 marine mammals. They eat it, they get tangled in it, and they die.
But the invasion doesn't stop with the animals. That plastic breaks down into these tiny, invisible bits called microplastics. Fish eat them, and then we eat the fish. And now the problem isn't just out there anymore. It's inside us. Scientists are finding these microplastics in human brains, in our kidneys, even in the placentas of newborn babies.
A recent study found something absolutely mind-blowing. In every single human brain sample they tested, they found the plastic equivalent of a credit card. Let that sink in for a second. An entire credit card's worth of plastic inside your brain. So that brings us all the way back to the bottom of the sea. And we're at a crossroads, aren't we? On one side, you have a $17 trillion treasure that could help power a greener future. And on the other, one of the last truly untouched places on Earth, a place we barely understand in an ocean that's already screaming for help. So as these giant machines get ready to plunge into the darkness, the question for all of us is pretty simple, really. Every treasure has a price. But looking at everything we stand to gain and everything we stand to lose forever, is this really a price we're willing to pay?